Hey guys, another YouTube video for you. This time I'm going to talk about my most asked question. What is my go-to portrait lens? What's my favorite lens? What lens do I use? Well, we're going to go into a little bit of detail about the lenses I use. I have a few of them, and I do things quite a bit differently than most people. So let's talk about that. My number one favorite lens, go-to lens, is definitely the 35mm. The lens I use is by Nikon. It's the 35mm 1.4. I purchased it in Nikon mount because I used to shoot Nikon. And now I shoot Canon. So I got a little photodiox adapter, the EOS to Nikon adapter, so that I can just pop it on my Canon 6D, which is my main camera that I use for my portraits, and it's an awesome camera system. There's nothing wrong with Nikon, I love that too. Every single one of my lenses is a Nikon mount lens, and I actually love it that way. When I buy new lenses, I'm gonna buy Nikon mount lenses even though I shoot Canon, because it's gonna give me a ton of versatility. I'm gonna be able to shoot these lenses on Nikon bodies and on Canon bodies, and on all the mirrorless systems with the proper adapters. Whereas if I bought just a Canon lens, I wouldn't be able to shoot those on Nikon bodies. And I shoot manual focus, manual everything all the time. So having the automatic focus disabled with these adapters is not an issue for me. I don't really care. Why do I shoot manual focus? Well, all of my lenses that I shoot for portraiture are pretty fast lenses. They're prime lenses, and to get the focus right on a prime lens, you know, shooting wide open at 1.4 is challenging, and automatic focus often fails me, and I just don't want to waste my time with it. I can simply jump into live view on the back of my camera and zoom in to my portrait, to the person's face, right to the eyeball. I can spin my focus ring. When I see it's tack sharp on the screen here, I can just nail my shutter button, and I've got sharp focus almost every single time. That's how I do it. And I'm always shooting through live view. I never use this little eyepiece viewfinder thingy. So that's that. I mean, one thing that would be a downside for people buying these manual lenses is if they're used to shooting that way. You're never gonna get your focus right if you're trying to manually focus through this eyepiece. Even with that little focus dot, it's okay. The best way to do it is through live view. Zoom right in there, grab your focus, snap the shot, and you're good to go. So Nikon's 35mm 1.4 is my favorite portrait lens, and I use that focal length because, well, I love the perspective, but it also gives me a little bit more room to work in a tiny basement studio, which I have. My next favorite lens would be Nikon's 85mm 1.4, and I'm going to use this primarily in bigger spaces, like outdoor. When I do my outdoor shoots, I use this. I still use my 35mm if I want that perspective, that wide angle look, but Nikon, again, 35mm 1.4. And other than that, another one of my really favorite lenses is Nikon's 50mm. This is an old AIS lens. This is made in the late 70s, early 80s. It's got a cool lens flare effect, but it's tack sharp. This lens is great. And again, manual focus, manual aperture ring, like all of my lenses, manual everything. And this is a great lens for portraiture as well. And then I just have a couple fisheye lenses. Same thing, they're one's Pro Optic, which is Samyang, Nikon, all the same thing. And then this is a Nikon 12mm 2.8 lens. This is just a novelty lens. I'm actually using that for real estate stuff. So that's what I also use. But everything is manual focus. As you can tell, I love Nikon, and I love the Nikon old AIS series or AI series of lenses because they work on all my cameras. So every lens I have here works on all of my Nikon bodies and also works on my Canon 6D. So I've got a ton of versatility, and if I move into the mirrorless system, which I probably will for some of my photography and video making, all of these lenses are going to work on the mirrorless bodies as well. You just got to get the right adapter. So I don't have to invest a ton of money buying new lenses when I change camera bodies up. That's why I do what I do. Plus, prime lenses are going to give me the best results. I don't own any zoom lenses, and I'm really not a fan of zoom lenses. They're great if you're an event photographer. You would probably want zoom lenses. If you're shooting weddings or concerts or sports, you wouldn't be shooting manual focus doing what I do. But for what I do, this is the way I love it. And the only other thing to talk about is my little viewfinder, view screen, what do you call it, the back screen on your camera. This is a little magnifier that you can throw on the back. It's just an El Cheapo from eBay, and this does a couple of things. It magnifies the screen so you can really get tack sharp focus and get a good view on what you're shooting. But also if you're shooting outdoors and you've got sun glare, it's going to stop all that and you're going to see exactly what your exposure is. I highly recommend getting one of these. They're like loop things, I don't know what you call them, but I'll put a link in the description down below for that and the lenses that I recommend. And that's pretty much it. Obviously shoot some film sometimes because it's fun to do. And that's it for this YouTube video, guys. Hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, just shoot them down in the comments below, and like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'm actually uploading another YouTube video as we speak on the 12-inch MacBook. That's how I edit my videos in Final Cut Pro, and I do all my sound on the Zoom H1. And that's it. Bye-bye.